Welcome to PricePlow. This is Mike. Today we're going to review a pre-workout. Well, you know what? Not just any pre-workout. We're going to review Myprotein's The Pre Workout. So this is a pre-workout supplement that for those who are super new, you take it before you work out, you get a little bit of energy, a little bit of pump, it's supposed to taste good, a little bit of muscle building action. This one actually has a little bit of everything. And then you go on your merry way and work out and hopefully have a little bit of performance enhancement. But right off the bat, interesting thing here, 150 milligrams of caffeine. So that's either gonna make people very interested or turn off a few people because you're gonna have to take too many scoops because it takes too much caffeine to get you out of bed anymore. So right off the bat, this is a low stimulant pre-workout supplement. So before we get even further, I do have to say I did buy this for myself, but we do have an affiliate business relationship with Myprotein. We have a PLOW40 coupon code, which helps when you buy it yourself, and that brought it down to 30 servings at about $23 or so. So PLOW40 saves 40% off that list price, but the value factor is really going to come down to whether or not you want the low stim pre-workout, because a lot of people like 300 milligrams of caffeine, maybe even more, and at that point it's going to cost you a lot per serving. So right off the bat, we're going to do this video, we're going to talk about the effects, we're going to talk about the ingredients, but we got to taste it because there's 4 flavors here. I don't have my phone with the list. I think there's like a guava, there's a guava one. I have black cherry vanilla. I don't know if you saw that wafting up right there. Stuff, yeah. This flavor. So yeah, there's four flavors. There's a mango one, there's a guava one, there's a black cherry vanilla, and I think there's a blue raspberry one. And so one scoop here weighs 14 grams. Put it in about 8 to 12 ounces of water, so you get a little bit of leeway there. And then we're gonna have a little sip of this. Talk about some of the effects. I'm gonna do just a bit more because I have just a bit more water. Oh, that was probably too much. And then we're going to, and I'll show you, and this is naturally colored. We'll show some B-roll shots of the tub here as well. So this coloring, black cherry vanilla, this is actually beetroot concentrate for the coloring. Now it is sucralose sweetened, so that's an artificial sweetener, but as far as the color goes, that is natural. And it mixes up pretty clean, as you can see here. Nothing too crazy, but now, that is such a smooth. I love this flavor. Now, I don't care what anyone says. This is by far easily in the running for me. I have 2 kind of off the wall flavors that I love a lot. This is in the running for me for flavor system of the year, no doubt. I know there's a lot of popular brands out there. In fact, but it seems like I'm the cherry guy of the channel. Ben doesn't like these flavors. There's a black cherry slushy supplement out there, and that's you can comment on which brands these are. Black cherry slushy that I like a lot, and there's a cherry popper that I like a lot. This one, the vanilla, adds just a little bit more sweetness in the aftertaste. So Ben doesn't like the cherry flavors, but he also said that this sounds like something that you need to have like be fizzy or carbonation. They're not really going for the soda here. This is a pre-workout flavor. Like you get a very sweet, fruity pre-workout flavor, but they just top it with some vanilla flavor, and it's just crazy. I downright love this flavor. So right off the bat, that's if you're into the cherry flavorings and you think that this might be good for you as a pre-workout, 150 milligrams of caffeine per scoop, then you should definitely test it out just because this flavor alone. I bet you the other ones are good. I don't even care to find out because this one I'm so excited about. Now let's get into this label. I talked about the caffeine. On top of the caffeine, way at the bottom of the label here, right at the bottom, but down there is also 50 milligrams of Theacrine. It's 40%, so it's not a huge dose or anything, but just a little bit of extra energy. But in general, this is a low stim pre-workout. However, it's followed up by a full. Now this is where there is, if you see an early tub version, it says L-citrulline malate, but on the front it says L-citrulline. We confirmed it is 4 grams of straight L-citrulline, which is an above and beyond clinical dose to get you the nitric oxide based pumps so that you have increased blood flow and then more vasodilation, your blood vessels relax and expand, you get more blood flow, more pump, more nutrient delivery, and all that. And so 4 grams of that. So you're gonna probably, hopefully in the future out there, you're gonna get an updated tub. I'm not sure what the flavor what the other flavors say, but it says citrulline malate here, and that is actually false. That is not what the label ended up being. Now on top of that, Though I'm gonna skip around a little bit because here's the effects that I felt the first couple of times I took it. I just loved it, loved the flavor, slammed it so fast. The beta-alanine, just 2 grams. So in the course of a day, the studies show that you want 3.2 grams per day. Around 1.5 to 2.5, some people start feeling the tingle effect. And that was indeed the case for me here, but there's also folic acid, there's also niacin, and it's a 90% daily value amount of niacin, and the two of these combined, I got the niacin flush on top of a little bit of beta-alanine tingles. And what niacin does is that it increases the blood flow of the capillaries. Man, it's time for me to go back to school. And you get more blood flow to the skin there as well. So combine that with beta-alanine and you might get a little bit of that tingling feeling. Now the beta-alanine, if you have 3.2 grams per day as a clinical dose, should help with muscle fatigue, especially like the exercises that take between like 1 and 4 minutes or so. But again, that's 2 grams. I like that dose because the 3 grams or more of beta-alanine, like, gets me a little bit too tingly up. So I like the 2 gram dose. But what we're gonna start seeing here is that a lot of these ingredients and with the dosing of the stimulants, it's almost like you're either gonna need to do 1.5 scoops, but that's gonna cost you more, or it's kinda like, I dare say, it's almost a pre-workout that's gonna be better for small people or for women who will be getting more like clinical doses out of this stuff. For instance, creatine monohydrate, also 2 grams. Now, the clinical daily dose for most, average sized guys like myself is 3 to 5 grams. But if you look at some of the research, you see that people who are eating meat and everything, the body excretes about 2 grams of creatine per day. So if you get yourself to saturation and then you just take about 2 grams per day, you might be able to keep up your creatine stores at saturation level, especially if you're a smaller person. So that's the 2 grams of creatine. But if you're a big guy, I would honestly, well, it depends on how much steak you're eating, but and red meat in general and everything, I would personally want a little bit more creatine. But if you're a big guy, you're maybe possibly going to want more than 150 milligrams of caffeine per day. But that dose of caffeine is really good if you're training in the afternoon, you're stim sensitive, or just a smaller person. Now going back up the label, I'm just going all over the place here. We have a full clinical dose of 2.5 grams of betaine. This works as an osmolyte, and there's a lot of research out here, and it seems like every couple of years we get a new really good study, and it's always done at 2.5 grams per day, and this helps bring a little bit more water to the cells, but it also helps with power, and there's even studies showing weight loss support in women. So there's a lot of different research studies showing all kinds of athletic benefits. Now you get this in spinach. And it's also known as trimethylglycine, if you ever see that. But betaine, 2.5 grams per day is where it's at. And so you have a couple muscle builders in here with betaine and creatine. And then you have the pump agents with citrulline. And then you have the endurance agent with beta-alanine, amplified by that niacin rush and a couple other B vitamins. Now up top they do also have a little bit of choline and a little bit of N-acetyl L-tyrosine. Not our favorite version of tyrosine, but it's a 750 milligram dose, which is typically, I start feeling things around 500 milligrams of tyrosine. And so that gives you a little bit of a dopaminergic boost, and get some of the happy neurotransmitters going. You get a little bit of a focus boost. And then there's choline, which helps the acetylcholine production in the brain, and that helps your synapses fire a little bit more, a little bit better cognition, memory, clear the fog a little bit. But it's not a clinical dose of choline. It's 200 milligrams of choline provided from choline by tartrate. So you have a smattering of everything, but not monster doses of anything, except for for people who want a little bit of a pump, the betaine and citrulline are dosed really well. So it really comes down to me. This comes down to if you're looking for a well-dosed, delicious, low-stimulant pre-workout, I am all on board with this stuff. Like, this flavor, first off, is just like, this beats any energy drink that I've ever had out of a can. I love the vanilla. Splash of vanilla on top of the black cherry. It's still a pre-workout. It's not like a soda flavor, but they just finish it off. And then the aftertaste is just like vanilla flowers, just right in the mouth. On top of that, everything is amplified by estrogen and BioPerine, and they're small doses, so it's 2.5 milligrams of BioPerine. A lot of times you see, and that's a black pepper extract that helps amplify the other ingredients. The 2.5 milligrams is usually it's 5 milligrams, but sometimes that adds a peppery like smell to it and everything. Don't have that here. And then same goes with estrogen. So overall, I could not be more thrilled with this flavor system, but it really comes down to whether or not you are cool with the 150 milligrams of caffeine. If you need, 400 milligrams of caffeine to get your weary old bones out of bed and everything, and you're double scooping this tub's gonna disappear in about 15 workouts. That's not gonna be worth the money for a lot of people. But if you're like sick of half scooping these 300 milligram pre-workouts, and then the dose is only 2 grams of citrulline, for instance, and you don't have enough pump support, then you have a problem over on that side. That's where you check this one out. So it is a lower stim product. If you want to add a little bit more pump, a little bit more endurance, Myprotein also has the pump. We could link back to our video on that one as well. And a lot of similar ingredients, and this will, but a few other ones as well. Vaso-6, some grapeseed extract, and then even more citrulline. So if you really want to get after it, you can do a little stack here. But overall, for people who are looking for that low stim pre-workout, 150 milligrams, maybe like a heaping scoop up to 200 milligrams, this is awesome. For everyone else, probably not your best product, but the flavor system's awesome. So anyway, check out PricePlow.com/myprotein, and you could sign up for the alerts. We'll hit you up with the deals when we have new content coming out with them and everything. And then that Plow 40 coupon, but sometimes you get an even better coupon on like the holidays and everything. So happy holidays if you watch this around Labor Day. Hopefully something big's coming. We'll see you next time. This is Mike, and thanks for watching.
Welcome to PricePlow.